This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 474. Wake Up Call to Parents and Children Imitate Their Parents, both by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. Hi, OLD friend, and welcome back to my show. And also, happy 4th of July if you're listening in real time. I'm your host, Joss Marie, bringing you some of the best relationship content we can find. And actually, many of our listeners enjoy tuning in over their morning cup of coffee for an inspirational start to their day. When's your favorite time to listen to the show? You can let us know right in our Facebook group at oldpodcast.com/Facebook. And today, I'll actually be narrating 2 posts by boxing coach Ross Enamait, who shares how kids follow the actions and behaviors of their parents. So let's get right into it and start optimizing your life. Wake Up Call to Parents by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. New research from the American Heart Association suggests that obese children as young as 10 have arteries similar to that of a 45-year-old adult. As stated, quote, "No one knows how thick a 10-year-old's arteries should be since they're not regularly checked for signs of heart disease. So researchers use tables for 45-year-olds who often do get such exams. The kid's vascular age was about 30 years older than their actual age, she found." End quote. A simple solution. The article goes on to suggest that 1/3 of American children are overweight and 1/5 are obese. It then states how the American Academy of Pediatrics has recommended cholesterol-lowering drugs for kids. The fact that drugs are recommended as a solution isn't a surprise, but that doesn't make it any less pathetic. Do we really need to give our kids drugs to solve their weight problems? How about telling the parents to stop buying the junk that is causing the problem? I don't know any 8-year-olds who do their own grocery shopping. When I was 8, I was outside playing until the sun went down. We rode bikes, played basketball, football, baseball, and so on. I cannot remember any kids that were my age in the neighborhood who were obese. How about we prescribe some common sense to the parents rather than feeding drugs to their kids? Is that too much to ask? I've seen parents smirk and chuckle to themselves when they see my son eating fresh vegetables or fruit. We were at an aquarium a few weeks ago, and we brought sliced veggies and apples to eat as snacks. It was as if we were the odd folks, since we weren't buying the overpriced fried food that was available for purchase. Since when did health become such a rarity? Since when did eating a fresh piece of fruit make you the odd man out? Since when was it rare to get up off your ass and play outside with your children? Is that really too much to ask of a parent? If you can drive to the pharmacy to pick up a prescription, why not use that time to go outside and throw the ball with your kid? Guess what? They just might enjoy it, and you just might have some quality time with your kids. Doesn't that mean anything to anyone anymore? Shouldn't parents care about the health of their children? My son will pick playing outside or tagging along at the gym any day over sitting in front of the television. We don't force anything on him. He is more eager to go to the gym than I am on most days. He would stay all day if he could. Kids learn from and imitate their parents. Parents need to lead from the front. Pumping little Johnny full of crap isn't a sign of love. It's a sign of ignorance and poor parenting. Many parents in today's world need to wake up and get a clue. Children Imitate Their Parents by Ross Enamait of RossTraining.com. A few years ago, I read an article about children imitating their parents. Although I couldn't locate the exact article, a post titled "Children Imitate Their Parents" on UnitedAthletes.com drives home the same important points. When I first read about this topic, it didn't have much of an impact on my life. I wasn't a parent, so I wasn't about to read up on my parenting skills. Now that I am a parent, however, things have changed. I can now testify firsthand to the accuracy of the old article. My son Troy imitates my actions. He follows me around the house. He loves to come into the gym and imitate our actions. If he sees something, he wants to try it himself. Sounds great, right? Well, in my eyes it is, but imitation isn't always useful to children if the parents are not conducting themselves appropriately. If you sit around and watch television all day, you can expect the same from your child. If you have poor eating habits, you can expect the same from your child. After all, I'm sure your children don't do their own grocery shopping. The Modern Forager website recently linked to an article titled, "Too Much TV Linked to Behavioral Problems." To summarize the article, quote, Researchers found that children who watch more than 2 hours of television per day from age 2.5 until age 5.5 were more likely to develop sleep, attention, and aggressive behavior problems than those who watch less. In addition, researchers found 5.5-year-olds who watch more than 2 hours of television per day also had fewer social skills, unquote. Throughout this blog, I've often addressed the topic of childhood obesity. To correct this problem, we as parents need to correct our actions so our children can begin to imitate true role models. We need to become role models to our children. What kind of example are you setting if you sit around all day and abuse your body? How can you expect your child to do differently? As a parent, I cherish the time with my child. We don't sit around and watch television. My son loves to go outside and run in the yard. He loves to throw the ball, he loves to play, and he's only 16 months old. I'm guessing that we all started off this way, but somehow many kids end up going down the wrong path. They get lost playing video games, watching television, and playing on the computer. What happened to kids going outside to play? That's all we did as kids, but I don't see the same interest in many kids today. We as parents need to change this pattern. I'm still a big kid at heart and cherish the time that I can play with my son. Lead from the front, and your child will be a proud follower. You just listened to the post titled, Wake Up Call to Parents and Children Imitate Their Parents, both by Ross Enamait of Ross Training.com. Isn't it scary that television can have such a big effect on our kids' behavior, social skills, and quality of sleep? What's important to keep in mind is that we have a choice as to what we want to spend our time and lives on. This way, we literally lead by example. Instead of nagging our kids to do things, what we should focus on is living the type of life we'd like them to emulate. And if you're in the U.S., happy 4th of July. Thanks so much for joining me here today, and I'll see you again tomorrow with the final post of the week from No Sidebar on Minimalist Parenting, where your optimal life awaits.